morning, this is Rabbi Shlomo, first year Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi, Yerushalyim, HaKodesh. We are learning Mishna Berura now, our second shir of the day. Siman Peites and Sif Vov. Several of the many things which are forbidden to do before you've davened, one of them is learning. That's really what we're here for, to get to this halacha here. Amon, you like to begin first, please?
Yep. I feel a little more asu, even to learn, it's asu, Misha Giazman Tefillah, when the time to Tefillah comes. Va'yin Misha regularly pala bevet midrasho, somebody who's regular to daven in the Beit Midrash, va'yin or regular lechavin, and doesn't normally go to the Bet Knesset. The Ika lemechash dilma.
There is lemechash to be concerned, dilmer perhaps.
Right. Mitri begirsei v'yavard manfilak shmala. First, he's going to get carried away and he's going to miss Kriya Shema.
He's getting very involved with his learning.
I got lost. What's the scenario?
Okay. So again, let's see. Sib Vav. You have it?
I know I'm following, but I didn't follow the. He does go to shul, but he doesn't.
He goes to base medrash. He doesn't have it in the shul.
Right. This is right. That's Hainu Misha Regulus Palo the base Medrasha. This is a person who davens regularly in the place where he learns. Ve'ena Regular Lech the base Knesset, and he doesn't usually go to a base Knesset.
Right? The shul.
Well, basically, a base Medrash is like a Yeshiva,
Right.
and a base Knesset is a shul. Now the Mishna Berura, if I'm not mistaken, is going to explain that in our time, right? See, jump down to Lamed Beis. You ever have Lamed Beis in the Mishna Berura there?
Yeah.
What's the pshat in a base medrash?
Tzedomar, Yechidut.
Yechidus. He's a base medrash is a place where people learn, right? And he is there by himself, or maybe just other people that are individuals, right? Now, there's a regularly they come and they get together into a group. Even then he's allowed to learn. Because they for sure will remind each other when the time would come, I guess that. Right. Now look, I'm just guessing, right? But it could be. I mean, what's a base medrash is a place of learning, right? That's a place where there are Talmidei Chachamim and Svarim, right? A base Knesset is a place of prayer. There may not necessarily be Svarim there, right? Now, because we are living in a time of Baruch Hashem where we have a abundance, Baruch Hashem, Blian Hara of Svarim, right? And you can go to any place and you'll find almost all your basic svarim, and many times all the svarim that you probably need, right? Going back 50, 60, 7 years or 7 years ago, it wasn't that way at all. Right? Printing was very expensive until relatively recently. To have a printed shas, it's written about Rav Yochanan Wasserman, Hashem Yikam Damav, who was the Talmud Muvak of the Chafetz Chaim. So we're talking about 100 years less. In the town he grew up, there were only one shas in the whole town, an almana. The widow happened to have the shas. Right? So it came time because we needed to have a certain volume, Yivomis. So he asked the almana if he could borrow the volume on Yivomis. So he sat there and memorized the whole volume of Yevomis, the whole tractate of Yevomis, because he never knew if he would see the whole Masechet again in his life. Right? We have no conception of what the conditions were in earlier times. Right? So there was a base medrash. A base medrash would be, because it was a place of learning, of scholarship, so it would be probably stocked with the necessary svarim that would be needed, right? But a Beit Knesset, and again, like a base medrash, those people who were learning, the Talmidei Chachamim, which were never a majority in the general population of Klal Yisrael, right? So those were specific places for people to go and learn, right? Study hall, right? But the general populace, in general, Baruch Hashem, they would be davening. So there'd be many places of prayer, of Beit Knesset, right? And they may have a few, maybe have certain svarim, but maybe not the ones that he needs if he's, because we're talking about a person, what are we worrying about? He's going to be tiered into geese, he's going to get involved with his learning, he's doing research, he's going to be involved with his learning people, right? Not just learning the parts of the Rashi. So, he's going to get in such a situation where he's learning and he's going to the base medrash to learn, and that's where his svarim are, and maybe he is there by himself, is lonesome, or maybe there may be some other people there, so he's going to get involved. We're worried he's going to get involved, and he's going to miss the time of Shema and of Tefillah. So therefore, that person can't start if it's been the time of davening and Shema coming around him already. He can't start. It's forbidden for him to start. He can't start.
Only if he's in the big midrash.
Right.
If
Only if he's
shul,
right.
If he's in the base Knesset,
then
he is allowed.
Right, because why? Because he's going to notice
There's
people.
going to be a minion.
There's going to be a minion. People, you'll be interrupted from his learning because of the activity surrounding the minion. Likewise, a base medrash, that happens to be a base medrash where people come to daven as well, right? So he's not there by himself, so he can start learning even though the time Kriya Shema has come, because we assume that he's not going to get so involved with his learning they won't notice that a minion is coming and starting to get ready to daven. Okay, let's just review. Let's review the Machaber again.
Then we also said that if he's in a base midrash, but he's with a larger group, then he can still learn.
Right, if that proof is going to be davening, right? If he's going to be davening. If he's there learning with a lot of other people, maybe not. That's not exactly clear.
I feel a little more also even to learn it's forbidden Mishagias Matfilah when the time for Tfilah arrives. Va'inu Misha Ragalei Palabet Midrasha, Van no Ragal Lechel Beknesa, somebody who's a regular davens in the base medrash and doesn't go to shul.
That's the person that's usher to begin learning.
The Ikam Machash Dilma, Mate Begirsa, V'yavaz Mikshma. He's going to get so involved that he's going to pass the time of Kriya Shema. Misha regular bit of somebody who regularly go to big knesset, mutar is permitted. Ve'im hu melamed lachem, if he's teaching others, afilo im eno regular bit of knesset mutar. And if he teaches others, even if he's not regular to go to the beit knesset, it's mutar. Kevan she'asha over dischuta rabbim davar gadohu, because the time goes by and the zchut of the rabbim is something very big. Ve'im lo yomedu achshav. Because if they don't learn now, they're going to waste time. The lo yuchol lilmod, and they will not be able to learn, I guess, afterwards.
Right. I mean, you can get the shit together now, but later you're not going to get it. Now in the Kaiman Kukvav, that's where we started out. That's where we started out. So again, just the second part of the halacha, avamisha regulate beit knesset is mutter. A person who does go regularly to daven in shul, it's mutter for him to start. Right?
Start learning.
Yeah, even though it's a time of Kriya Shema, because we'll assume that won't get so involved because he has a habit of going to the shul. Right? This is what Kukvav is talking about.
He's learning at home, or he's learning in the Beit Midrash.
Yeah.
And then he's going to go to shul.
Right, and he usually goes to shul. Right. Now, if he's teaching to a herim, to other people, ain't a regular lake, but it can is mutter. Kevin Shesha Overis. If he's teaching other people, he can, even if he doesn't go to the shul, he can go and teach right now because the shars are theirs, because it's now or never, right? And not only that, there's a kusarabim gadol, it's a tremendous thing. And if they don't learn now, they don't learn now, they'll never be able to learn. And you take a look further in Kukvav, right? That's the advantage of if you're teaching to other people, as was discussed in Kukvav.
I'm surprised it doesn't say if a person is not going to go to a minyan and the time has come that he should not start learning, not because he might make a mistake and miss the time, but because the time is here, he should daven right now. Why doesn't it say that?
If he's learning, and the person is starting to learn now, it's the time for davening, so he has two mitzvahs in front of himself. He has the mitzvah of learning, he has the mitzvah of davening, right? So, we've been taught now, a person can learn. He can start learning, right?
I thought you said he can't learn because he might forget.
That's if he's by himself, right? That's if he's by himself.
Yeah, right. So I'm saying, it seems the halakha is he can't learn, but I'm questioning the reason why he can't learn. There's two reasons. One reason is because he may forget.
Good.
The other reason could be he's got the mitzvah right now, so he should do it right now. I'm asking why doesn't it use that second reason?
Probably because Talmud Torah is connected kulam. Talmud Torah really, in theory, if he's learning, he's not really obligated to.
So Talmud Torah takes precedence over davening, unless you might forget. Okay, I see.
Let's take a look at the Mishna Berura. That'll begin in Sivkat and Lamed. Right? Lilmod Asher. Start to learn when it comes to the time of Shema or Tefillah. That's now going to be Asher.
Lilmod Asher?
Yes.
Rotza Lomar means Lechatchila Lilmod. Aval Im Kvar to start learning. Aval Im Kvar even if he already started. Afilu Achar She'egia Azman, even after the time arrived. Shuv Eino Posek Im Yishar Lo Shehud Achar Kach Leikal Mimon Tefillah. If you started learning and time Kriya Shema came, he doesn't stop, and as long as he has time to say Shema afterwards. Ach Kriyat Shema Yeshomim. There's some say that for Kriya Shema the Tzarech Lahasik that he has to stop and read it. Kevan Sheit Kil Achar Shekvar Yizman, because he started learning that's after the time of Zman came. But Yesh Makilum Gamazin, there's those that are also lenient with this. Im lo sheyare sheyavar Zman, if not the time goes by, the ayin becomes him kuva b'bur halacha.
Okay, so how do we understand this? The Mechaber says you can't start learning. It's forbidden to start learning if the time of Tefillah has come now, right? So the Mishna Berura explains several different aspects of this halacha. It's usher to begin learning, right? Once the time of Tefillah has come, it's forbidden to start learning. But if he already started to learn, right? Afilu acher hagiyazman. He made a mistake, or he didn't want, like he knew. Like sometimes you have a certain thing you're dealing with, and if you don't try and get to the bottom of it, you're going to lose the whole train of thought. You're going to lose the whole thing. So it's the time where he woke up. It's time to daven. He's got this thing on his mind. Sometimes if he's got this thing on his mind, he's not going to daven well. Right?
The thing being learning.
Yeah. So my with the Vilna Gaon. Vilna Gaon, it was Rosh HaKodesh. And Shachris for Rosh HaKodesh, if I'm not mistaken, and the Vilna Gaon had been working on a certain difficult problem for several weeks. And in the middle of the Shemon Esrei comes there was 7 ways of answering the difficulty that he had in the problem he was working on. 7 different ways in the middle of the Shemon Esrei. So he took him. He said he took a moment to organize everything, and then he continued his davening. Right. Then after the davening, he forgot it all. He forgot the whole thing. Everything he worked out, forgot. So he was so upset, right? He couldn't daven Hallel. How are you supposed to be happy with daven Hallel, right? So he couldn't daven Hallel for a half an hour. He was trying to get himself back together. So finally he got himself back together again, right? And daven Hallel. Then it's time for Musaf. It's time for Musaf. So he starts davening Musaf. So all of a sudden the 7 ways come popping into his mind again.
Who says Hashem doesn't have a sense of humor?
So he pushed them out of his head, didn't pay attention to any of them, threw them out of his head, and davened Musaf. And when he finished Musaf, then they came back to him, and he was able to, after the daven, he was able to write it all down, whatever, this and that. Whatever. So sometimes there's a halacha. There's a halacha. If you look at Tzadi Gimel, look at Tzadi Gimel for a moment. Where is Tzadi Gimel? This is just part of it. It says, "Kodim Sinai Yisha Asha Achas Kodim." You should wait a moment. What the moment exactly means, wait a while before you start doubting. You should direct your heart to HaKodesh Baruch Hu, right? And base, lo yamud betfila ela be'emir v'chalkanot, right? Right? You should only stand to pray only if you're in a situation of awe and respect, right? Lo mitok skok, not through when you're a matter of levity, kalas rosh, jokingness, devarim b'telim, or things which have nothing, mundane matters of no use. Lo mitikach, not mitok, you are angry. Ela mitok simple, which means you're happy that you're serving HaKodesh Baruch Hu, right? Right? It says. Further that ain't only the tzpala matoch din or matoch halacha, right? You're not supposed to daven when you're in the middle of a case of judgment or trying to decide a halacha. Lo yehei libo torah bo. Your heart shouldn't be active and concerned with them. Eli matoch halacha psuka, meaning something which is clear, right? You could, there's no doubts about that. You're not going to be concerned about knowing whether it's true or not, right? That's no problem. But if you're concerned with it, trying to discover the answer to a certain question, right? And your mind, your heart is worried about trying to get an answer, a proper answer. You can't daven. So here, sometimes a person's going to be involved in a certain question. And he's got to find out about it, otherwise his mind's going to be too occupied with trying to get the answer. So sometimes, right, even though you're not supposed to daven, you're not supposed to learn once the time of davening has come, but I'm just trying to explain what the Mishna Berura meant over here, when you go back to us over here in Sivkat Lamed, right, back in Pei Tes, Sivkat Lamed, right, Lilmud is usher, right? That's the Mechaber said. To learn once the time of prayer has come, it's forbidden to learn. That means to begin to learn. Meaning even if he started, even after the time came, he shouldn't have started. If the time came when he's not supposed to start, but this guy did start, right? Shuvena Posik. He doesn't have to stop. If he estimates that there'll be time to learn, to finish, to daven after the time of his learning.
That means he's not going to be done with the minyan. We're talking about he's going to minyan.
In all of these halachas, the Mishna Berura is not really speaking about the point about davening with the minyan, right? He's not going into davening by yourself, to davening with the minyan.
These are just the times.
These are just the times. He's not going to that. Certainly a person should have davening with the minyan. He's obligated to davening with the minyan. There are certain times when maybe not, it's not so simple. But, for example, we're talking about a person who is davening, he learns b'yichidus in the base medrash, right? He may be davening, again, we, Baruch Hashem, in our modern society, we have a lot of shuls, a lot of population is concentrated, right? It's not always like that, you know, not always like that. When I was in the mountains in Scranton, it was going back many years, but there was, to get, for the canned car, I had to get it fixed, so took it to a Jewish mechanic. He lived outside of Scranton, some 20 miles outside of Scranton or something like that, you know. When I was talking to him, he says he very rarely goes to a minyan. When you live that far away, you're not obligated.
I took a business trip to Colorado Springs years ago, and I contacted the Chabad, and I said, "Is there a minyan?" And he chuckled.
Yeah.
No, there's no minyan here.
No, it's unfortunate. Unfortunately, I don't want to be McCutcheon. What?
It's fairly large.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate, but like a lot of times when there are enough people in the city to in theory have minyanim, but unfortunately not everybody comes, not regularly. You know, I remember I was in so a little bit upstairs.